can't see it? How come? Hold on. Okay. Okay. What we're going to do today is talk about everything we've covered, or just generally ask questions. On Tuesday, we've gone through chapters 1 through 6 now. You should have to me by now the trust assignment and the chapter 5 homework. I'm missing the trust assignment from Amanda, Joshua, Larry, Diego, and Alyssa. And I'm missing the chapter 5 homework from Amanda, Joshua, Larry, Ariel, Diego, and Alyssa. Is that right? Okay. So try to get that in because we're having a test on it Tuesday. You can ask questions of it, or, if we have time when we're done. But what I want to talk about is the test on Tuesday. First of all, it will be available on Canvas. It's going to be an online test since we don't have class on Tuesday. It'll be available starting Sunday through Tuesday night at midnight. There's 2 portions of it. There's 10 questions taken from the quizzes we've had before that you'll need to answer. Those, I believe, are worth about 2 points each. Then there's a question where you download the problem-solving section. So you'll click on that. You'll print it out. You'll work out the problems. There's no time limit because I figure it may take you all day. You'll work out the problems. Then you'll scan it and upload it back to that question in a PDF format. If for some reason you just find it impossible to go to the library or however scan it and get it that way, you can slide it under my door. But I want to see it there by Wednesday morning when I get here. So those problems that are on the test, I'll tell you what's going to be similar to. But I want you to, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, like 4 pages. Of course, there's a couple of problems on each page. I want you to try to show your work on those pages, and then put your answers in the correct little slots for the answers so that I can find them, and just be as neat as possible. Any questions on that? We'll see how that works. The whole test is worth 100 points. Each problem is going to be, the problems are worth around 10 points each, with sections of them worth like 2 or 3 points. So, also on the test, there'll be on the written part, there'll be a place where you certify. I don't care if you use your notes or your books, but I don't want you helping each other on the test. So you have to be able to do the problems based on your knowledge and your resources, okay? So it's not a group test, and you're going to check a box saying, I certify that I did this by myself. So if you lie and you check it, then I guess you're breaking the code of conduct, and you're only hurting yourself if you do that. Anyway, that's how I want it to be done. So what are you going to study? You're going to study resultants. We did that a long time ago, you remember. Seems like last year. But do you want to work, my question to you now is, do you want to work through a few of these, or do you remember how to do that? That's pretty simple. It's where, you have like, I didn't write the amounts in here, but do we need to work through these, or do you want to spend your time just thinking and asking me questions, or what? I don't know. Well, it's up to you if you use AutoCAD, but I want the answer on my test drawn by hand. So if you want to use AutoCAD and then redraw it by hand on the test, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. You can use your resources, but I want the answer on my test page drawn. So, you remember this? Stuff. If you have knows. How about somebody else? Nobody knows except the doctor. Well, let's think about it. You got four kips going up, a force of four kips going up, right? Straight up. You got a force of six kips going down and to the left at 30 degrees. So how do you figure out the result? You can probably do it mathematically, but there's an easier way, I think. Could you draw it?
And it doesn't have to be, it don't have to be exact, right? We're just gonna go up to the nearest kip.
Yeah, round your figures. It doesn't have to be point monkey scratch. So if you were drawing it to scale, you might, what I would do probably is take this 6 skips and attach it to the end of that. And, you'd measure it out, of course. I'm not measuring on here because I can't. Then the resultant is the connection. Right? Isn't that how you do it? It's not that hard. So what about this one down here? Say that that's 10 kips or 10 pounds. And you have to put your answer like kips or pounds, however it's written on the test, appropriately on your answer. So pay attention to that. So this is like 10 pounds. This is, say, 20 pounds. And this is 5 pounds. So how would you figure out the resultant, the combined resultant? These are at 45. So if so then you would probably draw it out, right? Anybody want to figure it out? You would get something with a measurement. You would draw your line of 10 pounds. However you're going to measure it. 10 inches, 10 half inches, I don't know.
I would just draw the 5 going up and then 10 going down to the left. Because the 10 going up and the 20 pulling away from it
Right.
cancel each other out.
That's true.
And leaving only 10 pounds pulling down and to the left.
That's true. But not all of the problems will be that simple. But you should try to